So Battle, here we are with my friend's 2013 Nissan Rogue. We put a cabin air filter and an air filter in it the other week. And we also have some spark plugs to put underneath the 4 coil packs. So what we need to start with is a 10 millimeter bolt so we can take this guy off right here and remove this air box. It's also 10 millimeter back here, Battle, for this hose connection to the air filter. These guys, channel lock pliers for this hose right here that goes to the air box, which actually the other side of this was not connected the other week. So this air box should go ahead and be able to be removed now. Go ahead and get this hose clamp on the other side and remove it. So I guess technically it's not PCV like on an old car, but it goes to the crankcase because this is our valve cover right here. 10 millimeter ratchet for these coils. The last 10 millimeter bolt that holds the coil packs on top of the spark plugs. And correct me if I'm wrong, Battle, but I think it's 1, 2, 3, 4 because our timing chain is on this side. Unless, of course, I had another friend that did an engine rebuild on a Chevy Colorado, and it had a timing chain at the back as well. So I haven't really done that much investigation, but now our coil plugs are ready to come out, which we can just lift them up a little bit and then disconnect them. So that one was number 4. Here's number 3. Which actually, that looks good. Nice and clean. Yep, we got the coil packs off. All right, Battle, we have some penetrant, and that's Essential Trimmers. And we'll go ahead and deuce these spark plugs. So, 1, 4. And we'll let it go ahead and work its magic on the threads of those spark plugs. So let's start with the number 4 spark plug. There we go. There it is. There's the number 4. With a little bit of penetrant on it. 1 down, 3 to go. If you leave the spark plugs in the engine too long, then of course they wear, and then they get carbon fouling on them, and they might be difficult to remove. Which, if that happens to be the case, penetrant is your friend. You can spray penetrant on the spark plugs every day for a good week, and then you can use your ratchet to tighten and loosen the spark plugs just a hair. These guys are coming out just fine. There's number 2. Right here, Battle, we got the big guns for cylinder number 1. Let's go ahead and get this last old spark plug out. There we go. She was just a little bit tighter is all. And we do have a torque wrench to tighten them back up, which is what right looks like, Battle. So we got her loose, so she should come on out of there. All right. This one is a cantankerous son of a gun. There it is, Battle. No damage or anything. We got these new spark plugs, and then we got a little bit of rubber hose, and we can just put the spark plug in the rubber hose and then feed it down in there, which actually I had to do the same thing when I did spark plugs on my 2003 Ford F-150 crew cab with a 5.4 liter Triton V8. Those Triton V8s were oddball creatures, I tell you what, Battle. I was talking to my friend about it earlier when we were letting the engine cool down. So just get a few threads started, pull your rubber hose out. I got my extension with a 14 millimeter deep spark plug socket. There we go. We're just gonna get them snug now, Battle. We'll come back and torque them once they're all in there. There, she's bottomed out on the threads. That's all the more we need until we torque it. Use our rubber hose, put it on there like that. Notice, Battle, we do have a little bit of anti-seize on the threads. It doesn't take much. Pull out our rubber hose. We got our extension until she's snug. Actually, Battle, this rubber hose was on my Bono's truck. I think it was one of the hoses that was used on the VRV, which is the vacuum regulator valve, the metered vacuum orifice that allows the C6 transmission to shift properly. So, since we're using this rubber hose that originally was on my Bono's truck, and I can't know for certain, I doubt it was the OE rubber hose, but if it was, then my friend will probably get 2 or 3 extra miles per gallon simply because a Ford part was used to install these spark plugs. Scientifically proven fact that cannot be disputed. Go ahead and get it started. My friend will have to tell Mama that it looks like he's gonna get a little bit more fuel economy, which actually, Battle, that'll probably be from the new spark plugs, not from the Ford rubber hose. But we can think that. She's snug. That's all it takes. We have the 4 spark plugs in, and they are snug, and we need to torque them down. It's 168 inch-pounds, which is 14 foot-pounds. 14 foot-pounds. And our last spark plug, 14 foot-pounds. Make sure you use a torque wrench, Battle. These new engines have an aluminum head. You don't want to do Guten tight. We have some dielectric grease right here. Go ahead and put it in the coil plug boot. Here's our number 1 coil. You can go ahead and listen for a click. Number 1 is in there. We'll come back in a second. So now we have the coil pack for the number 2. Put her on in there. Listen for a click. Well, she connected. Set her on down. Here's our number 3. I think I've mentioned it before on a video with my Oldsmobile, but I do not like the Cheez Whiz style dielectric grease. I prefer the dielectric grease that comes in a tube, sort of like toothpaste. And here is our number 4 coil pack boot. It's a little bit of dielectric grease. That one clicked. So they're in there, ready for the bolts. We got these little 10 millimeter guys that are going to hold our coil packs to the valve cover, snug. And the last one. There. All 4 of them are snug, which we could leave well enough alone and leave them like that. But I looked online and it said 74 inch-pounds, which is 6.16 foot-pounds. With a 10 millimeter bolt. That's all she takes. The last one, she's tight. We need to put the air box back on, and then we can give her a start. All right. So remember, we have this crankcase hose right here. Trusty pair of channel locks. Right here, we have our air box. There she is. Trusty old channel locks. Awesome. Have this last bolt holding the air box to the top of the engine, which I wasn't able to find the torque spec for it. Right there, Gook Ganook. The moment of truth battle. Woohoo! She's running. Well, Battle, mission success. We installed these spark plugs in my friend's 2013 Nissan Rogue, and it was actually a pretty simple task. I don't know, I've never told him to like and subscribe before, but I'm thinking maybe I should, so. Thanks for joining me in the shop today, Battle. Leave a comment down below, and please consider liking and subscribing, and I'll see you next time, Battle. Nice!